Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you could be here with us today. Alongside, I've got Jan
Hey,
with
Steve.
me.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, so you got what? There was something you
Well, I
wanted
kind
to.
of, I kind of want to mention something to you in actually gratitude to something that you shared with me a couple of years ago. There's a filler that I never in my lifetime would have ever thought. How many of you out there like meatloaf? I know a bunch of my followers, listeners, viewers love meatloaf,
Mhm.
but I've never used this filler, and I can only thank Steve and I think your dad, if I'm not mistaken, for this idea. Steve, before I say another word, why don't you share with them this amazing filler to really enhance a meatloaf in every single way? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I could do that. So, what you're going to do is when you go to create the meat mixture to do your meatloaf and you put your spices and your flavorings, however you want to do it up, your egg, but you're not going to use breadcrumbs. Don't do that. Leave that. So what you're going to do in its place is you're going to put oatmeal. I I like to use old-fashioned Quaker oats. That's not saying that quick oatmeal would not work, but I prefer the old-fashioned. So you're going to put that in the meat mixture and do it up. And then once you have it all made up, then you're going to put it in your slow cooker or your casserole, and you form it and you put it in the oven and you bake it for or cook it for however how long it is. But there's an advantage to putting oatmeal in meatloaf. People forget. What happens to oatmeal when it heats up? Oatmeal tends to expand. So if you start out with a 1 pound meatloaf, you're going to have more than 1 pound when it's done because it's going to expand a little bit. It'll yield more. Just watch it. It'll happen because you're going to look down. Oh my goodness, what happened? My meatloaf is bigger. Yeah, it is bigger because meatloaf is or the oatmeal is going to, it gets for some reason it just tends to expand on its own. That's why I know a couple people who has done this. They'll eat oatmeal raw straight out. I said, why do you do that? Oh, when I do this and I eat it, because of the heat that's in my stomach, the heat makes the oatmeal expand and it shuts off my hunger.
Wow.
I've never
Well,
done that though. So,
Steve, I want to thank you for that but I want to tell the folks something. Don't think that when you put your oatmeal into this that you're going to slice your meatloaf and see like a bowl of oats in your meatloaf.
oh
No,
no, no, you won't.
it vanishes. It becomes, it's just like your meat. The difference is it's softer, it's juicier. No,
Yes.
you're not chewing on any oats. Steve,
Mm-mm.
remember that day when you told me about it? And in real time, I made it. Oh, by the way, I made it in my slow cooker that day. But there's another thing that your dad does. Most people use ketchup, but your dad does a different
No.
thing. And I followed his recipe. And it was the best ever in my life meatloaf.
When you go to put a lot of people when they make meatloaf, they like to use ketchup, ketchup, ketchup. Don't do that. Try this. And for those of you that might have done it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Use spaghetti sauce. If you have homemade spaghetti sauce that you made, use
Yum.
that. Put that in there. Yes, you can use a good quality jarred sauce too if you want to, but I like to use my homemade sauce, as much as I possibly can. And that helps bring out the flavor. It gives
Without
it a
exaggeration, that was the best meatloaf I ever made in my entire life. And I've made plenty of meatloafs in my life. And I was talking to you in real time. Remember, I showed up this little cooker. I was so hungry. I cut up a piece. I showed it to you on camera.
you
You
did?
said, look how good it looked. I am not even kidding. Run, don't walk to make Steve's dad and Steve's recipe. It's that good.
Yep. So anyway, you guys give it a try if you haven't done it. I highly encourage, giving it a whirl because once you go this method, I truly believe you won't want to do it any other way.
Not going to
I
go back.
know I
You don't need breadcrumbs because most of us
No, you
keep
don't.
oatmeal in the house. So we're fortunate to do that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, everyone, I'm glad that you guys could stop by. Much appreciated, and always be on the lookout. It might be me, it could be us. You just don't know. But I hope whatever time of day it is, I hope you're having a good day or what have you. And we'll see you back here another time. Bye
Bye
for now.
bye.
Bye.